Hi to all you lovers of ghost stories out there. Here's story number 5, ghost story number 5. Okay, and as you can see, changed location slightly. If you want to know more about where I am here, I'll give you a little clue. I'm in Daventry, the town of Daventry in Northamptonshire. And if you want to know what happened down here, take a look at Ghost Detective 6, and it is the first investigation in that book. And you'll find out what we did down here. There's a lot of rooms. Where are we? Down there. There's a lot of rooms down there. So yeah, we had some good times down here. And anyway, back to the story. Now, a lot of the times people say to me that ghosts are only affected by people. You know, you only get a ghost from a person, but you get them from animals as well. But here's a really strange one, and I still, to this day, I haven't worked out how this image, if you like, happened. Okay, here's the story. Now, this goes back to the year 2000, late October, and the girl's name is Nicole. I went to see her and recorded this story, and she said at the time, in the year 2000, at the time she was taking flights out of the UK at all times during the day, so she could be going in the afternoon or early morning. This particular one was an early morning flight she had to take, and she, living in Northampton, she took the A45 west out of Northampton towards junction 16 of the motorway. And as she was driving out of Northampton, she reached a part of Northampton called Upton, and there's a lane there and all bits and pieces. It's very heavily built up at the moment. But at the time of this recording that I went to see her, as you drive out, you have the Princess Marina Hospital was to your right-hand side. Opposite that, across the dual carriageway, there were open pasture land with a track leading down to a farm. That was called Upton Lane. And there was a boys' school just over the other side of that lane. So that gives you an idea of the picture. There was the lighting at the time down the dual carriageway was sort of orangey yellow, so it wasn't that bright, you know. But anyway, Nicole was driving out through that part of Northampton, and at that time in the morning in October, it wasn't light, so all she got was the yellow lighting, and it was a foggy morning. Well, not heavily fog, it was like rolling sort of fog you get at that time of year. But she was driving along, and she noticed out the corner of her eye this mist, and she thought it was because her window was misting at the base. She thought it was that, so she wiped it, and it was still there. And she thought, "Well, what's that?" And she started to slow down. And as she slowed down, she clocked this mist, and it was starting to come from the Princess Marina Hospital, and it started to track across the dual carriageway, going across the central reservation, and she was slowing right down, and it passed right in front of her car and followed on down Upton Lane. Now, what she said she saw in it was really unusual, because what she saw was a box and poles. There were no wheels. It was grey, black in colour, this box, and had black curtains that were drawn. And she said it simply floated across the road and went down Upton Lane. And then she carried on her journey, and she looked down Upton Lane as she went past, and there was nothing there. And she carried on, and up until the time she told me, she told nobody about it. And so I went back to do a bit of research, and actually what she'd seen was a sedan chair. I think some of you had already guessed that's what it was. It was a sedan chair. First came about in the town of Sedan in France. But the type and colour of the sedan chair that she said to me about, explained to me what she'd seen, they were used in Northampton way back, as like taxis, like the black taxis you get in London. It was like that. It was like a taxi, and you could hail one, or you could, you know, go and get one, and that sort of thing. But it was a very unusual thing. Now, yes, people say it's stone tape theory, where a ghost is captured in an area, or the energy of a person is captured in an area, or the energy of a dog, a cat, a horse, whatever, a living person or being. But this is an object. Now, there were no people at the front or the back of the sedan chair. That is very unusual, and it just passed in front of her. Obviously, she couldn't see what was in it because the curtains were closed. But yeah, that's a very unusual story, and one that you don't come across things like that very often. It's usually people or animals, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed that story, and there will be more to come. So until then, bye.